GTC. Let's get right into the business, man. James Harden. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into his career highs and why is it that this step back jumper that he's created, people thought it was a travel. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the NBA says different and why it's so deadly. So let's just get into James Harden, the player. All right. The man is 6'5", 220 pounds. He comes from California, Lakewood area. He went to college in Arizona State from 2007 to 2009. He was selected by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So from 2009 to 2012, he played with the Thunder. From 2012 to 21 with the Houston Rockets. From 21 to 22 with the Brooklyn Nets. And then from 22 to now with the 76ers. And of course, recently Harden got traded to the Clippers. Okay. I think, him going to the Clippers, it's now a loaded squad, but it's one ball for four guys to share. I don't see how it's gonna happen. Somebody gonna have to take a step back. Somebody gonna have to come off the bench. Okay, somebody gonna have to put their ego to the side. I don't see how it's gonna happen. It's gonna be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Let's just be honest. It's gonna be interesting to see how that's going to play out with all those egos, okay, in the game. But let's get back into James Harden. In 2018, the man was the MVP. All right. He's a 10-time NBA All-Star, a 6-time NBA First Team, All NBA Third Team, an NBA Sixth Man of the Year in 2012, 3-time scoring champ from 18 to 20, a 2-time assist leader from 2017 and 2023, an NBA All-Rookie Second Team. He's one of the 75th NBA 75th anniversary team players. Okay. The man has pretty much done it all. He's done everything besides get a ship. Okay. I don't see how he's going to get a ship with the Clippers. All right. The Clippers are loaded as far as front court players. But after that, it's sketchy. But back to James Harden. A quick fact about James Harden that most people don't know. He's the first player in NBA history to get a triple-double, scoring 60 points, 10 rebounds, and I think it's 11 assists. The first person. The first. All right? The man put you in that, remember the blender? He put you in the blender, break your ankles, man, then look at you with that step back. Then he come down and rain on you with that left hand. Let's not get it twisted. Lefty, yes, sir. Lefty. James Harden. The man is an absolute beast, man. When you look at what he's done and what he can do, being 6'5", being a guard, being able to go in there and get rebounds, assists. I mean, you seen what he did to that boy, man. You seen what he did to that boy when he was in Houston. He took that boy's ankles, man. Give me them ankles. Give me them ankles. He took that boy ankles, man. That was just disrespectful. Then he stared him down on top of taking his ankles. He stared him down. Like, you know better. Like, you should have known better. Don't test me. You know what I'm saying? That's how James came at him, man. But, the only knocks that you could probably put on James Harden, his defensive rating is not where it needs to be because he's not really a defensive player. He's all offense. But again, if your team is lacking scoring, James Harden is one of the best options you could bring in, no doubt. Okay, because the man can fill it up. He can fill it up in bursts. He can fill it up in all kind of. He can fill the stat sheet up quick offensively. Okay, and it's undeniable. It's undeniable. He's been doing it for year in, year out. You can't sit back and say, "Oh well, he didn't do it this time," or "He didn't do it this." Well, it's been his whole career, man. His whole career. After that 2009 season, that next year, James Harden was on a tear. It was apparent that James Harden was destined to be something bigger than just a sixth man. Okay, After that 2009 season in Oklahoma, you knew James Harden was coming on. Okay, they had to make a choice between Russ and Harden instead of keeping all three of them. I thought Oklahoma was crazy for not trying to keep all three, but they had to make a decision between Russ and Harden. I thought Oklahoma City made the wrong decision. I would have kept Harden over Russ at the time, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. GTC, what y'all think? Should OKC have kept Harden over Russ? You know what I mean? I feel like they should have kept Harden over Russ because then they could have kept KD in the building. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. But again, when he went from there to Houston, in Houston, he was the man. But, he also set the NBA record in Houston for the most turnovers in a game with 13 against the Golden State Warriors. Okay? He also melted down with Chris Paul in Houston. So those are things that happens in his career that's kind of like sketchy, that's up and down. But, like I said, in Houston, he was the man. Okay? That's why he wanted to go back to Houston for real, because he was going to be the man, but nobody wanted to make that trade to give the 76ers what they wanted for him to go back to Houston. That was a bit much what they were asking. Okay. As far as when he left Houston and he went to the Nets, I thought that was a good scenario for him with the Nets with KD, but I didn't think KD, Kyrie, and Harden could play together because you had two ball dominant players, which was Kyrie and Harden. KD can go off ball, no problem. Neither one of those guys can play off ball. I'm just gonna be honest. They say they can, but we haven't seen it yet on a consistent basis, night in, night out, like we know KD can. Okay, so with that being said, that's why I didn't think that was gonna work, and of course it didn't. Boom, they put the bomb on that thing, blew it up, got them all up out of there. All right. So then he goes from there to Philly, okay? Philly was really a good spot for him because he had Joel Embiid, and really it was just him and Joel. There was really no other super duper star there. I mean, you could go, Tyrese Maxey, he's up and coming, but there was really no other super duper star with him besides Embiid. And because he can shoot, score, and pass, and rebound, it was a perfect match in heaven because he could get the ball to Embiid, pick and roll. It was a thing of beauty, but for some strange reason, they could not get on the same page. In comes Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, hell of a coach, X's and O's guy, like Doc, but a little bit more player friendly. Okay, a little bit more player friendlier than Doc. All right, so Nick Nurse is going, it probably would have looked good, but he had already had an issue with Daryl Morey. And I'm like, come on, brother. You know what I mean? You're starting to get to a point where you're going to team to team, team to team, team to team. At some point, maybe it ain't the teams. Just saying. All right. So now you forced your way out of Philly. Okay. Now you are in with the Clippers. I don't see how you're going to fit in with the Clippers. Somebody's going to have to, two of y'all going to have to come off the bench. Which two is it going to be? James Harden is a ball dominant player. So how is he going to fit in? He would fit in okay with Kawhi for a little while. Okay. Because at some point he's going to have to get the ball to Kawhi. All right. He's going to have to get the ball to Kawhi. He ain't going to be able to sit out there and pat, step back, put you in the blender, hit you with that, and then pull on his beard. You hear me? And beard, it ain't gonna work that way. Okay. I don't see how it's gonna work with Paul George. Paul George can play off ball. Okay, for sure. Out of all those guys, Paul George can play off ball. Okay. Russ, ball dominant. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it really works, how they're gonna bring that together to bring James Harden into the fold. The NBA, columnists and the guys who making the prediction, they think that the Clippers odds have went up to win the championship. I don't see how it's going to happen. Okay. It's hard to have two ball dominant players on your squad at the same time. We've already seen this before. Let's go back to the Brooklyn Nets when they had Kyrie and Harden. It's hard to have those kind of guys on your team when you got a ball dominant, a ball eccentric type of player, and then now you got not one but two now. So it makes it a little harder to run your offense with those two kind of players unless somehow you convince one of those guys to be not a starter and come off the bench. If you could convince one of these guys not to do that, to do that, oh my, the Clippers might have something. You know what I'm saying? They might have something, especially in Harden, because Harden going to be able to get them points where they could not get points at, okay? Harden's going to be able to shoot the ball. He can drive. He can step back. He's got every asset and every tool on the offensive level to put you in the blender, as he say. Put you in the blender. You hear me? He got every asset to put you in the blender and cut you up. You know what I'm saying? And slice you. Harden got it. You know what I'm saying? He got it. But the question is, how is it going to translate to his new team, the Clippers, who's got a ball dominant player in Russell Westbrook already, who has to beat the ball, beat the ball, beat the ball. How's it going to work? Somebody's going to have to come off that bench. Who's going to swallow? Who's going to swallow their pride? Somebody got to swallow their pride. Who is it going to be? That's the question. Because once you put those two guys on the floor together, the offense is going to get stagnant. The same way it did with the Brooklyn Nets. Okay? It's going to get stagnant because you got two ball dominant players. But like I said, as far as scoring and putting belt to ass and putting people in the blender, human highlight 101, man, you got the guy. James Harden gonna get you. He gonna get you buckets. You hear me? He gonna get you buckets. He gonna fill it up for sure. He gonna do that, man. No question. But again, how's it gonna work with another ball dominant player like Russell Westbrook? Nobody thinks they're past their prime. Everybody think they still in their prime. Everybody think they still 25, 26. Okay? And they should be out there playing 30, 40, 50 minutes if they can. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So, again, that's the only issue that I see with that, with the pundits saying that the Clippers have just boosted and raised their stock up to win a championship by acquiring James Harden. But again, the man is a beast at what he do. I mean, he had the whole NBA shook with that step back. You hear me? He would hit you over, jab step, you step back, and then pop you with that left hand. Pop. You know what I'm saying? The man shook the whole NBA up with the moves that he brought out, man. Like right now, it's legendary. You know what I'm saying? It's legendary. Let's be honest. It's legendary. James Harden came out. James Harden hit with that step back move the same way for you older cats. The same way Tim Hardaway came out with that crossover, that killer crossover. Bam, bam. You hear me? Bam, bam. The same way Allen Iverson came out with his crossover, even though it was carrying when he would hold up in the air, because you can't hold the ball in the air like that and then cross back over. But when he came out with it, they didn't know what to do. They had to ban it because it was killing folks. He was breaking ankles. You hear me? He was breaking ankles with that move. Tim Hardaway breaking ankles with that move. You see what he did to Wesley Matthews, James Harden, when he was in Houston. Boy, man, broke his ankle and asked that boy, "Did you forget your chair? Because it looked like you had a seat on the floor." You remember when you was in grade school and the teacher told you, sit on the floor in Indian style? Yeah, with your little legs crossed up. Yeah, that's how Wesley Matthews was trying to get up off the ground. Like somebody told him, "Hey, have a seat. Have a seat, son. Have a seat, son." Yeah, that's how that step back got him. Then James Harden looked at him. Trash, boy. Hey, man. Disrespectful, man. Disrespectful. He trashed that boy. I'm just saying. He put belt to ass to that boy's ankles. You hear me? That Wesley Matthews still looking for his ankles right now to this day. He don't even know where his ankles are at. He don't know where they at. He don't know where they at. They in James Harden's locker, bro. They in James Harden's locker, bro. Hey, Wesley, your ankles is in James Harden's locker. You hear me? That's where they at, bro. Go get your ankles back, bro. Your ankles, man, listen. I know your knees hurt because you ain't got no ankles, okay? But he done it to a lot of people. Don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? James Harden is a beast, man, with that step back. He done crushed a lot of people's souls, bro. Okay, I'm just saying. It is what it is. He a soul taker with that step back, bro. He put you in that blender, then he tell you, put you in that blender. He tell you, put you in that blender. Yeah, that's what he doing. Just saying. GTC, what say you? What do y'all think about James Harden and his trade to the Clippers? Y'all think that raised the odds for the Clippers to go to the championship? Or do y'all think that bad boy lowered the odds? Okay? What say you, man? Like, comment, subscribe, share so you can stay aware. And we're going to keep dropping this fire content for y'all. Holla at your boy. I'm out.